Thanks, Ibrahim. Now joining the Democratic presidential candidate, Hillary Clinton. Thanks so much for being with us, Clinton. I want to start out by asking you about your policy proposal. My first question is, can you give us the main principles of your policy proposal?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much, Andrea, for having me here today. It's truly an honor. So our policy proposal is pretty simple. We want to focus on education and retirement. I believe those are the two main aspects of American society that leads to a better life. So our overarching theme to our campaign is preparing for the future. And I believe having those two main ideas in taken care of, we will be well in our future.
Now, why do you feel like those principles are the most important?
Well, like I said before, we want to focus on the Americans' future. So, key aspect to a good future is being well educated, having a good system in our education, as well as having a good system in our retirement. Too many of our retirees are forced out of retirement to work because they can't afford a decent standard of living. And I believe those two areas will definitely cover that very well.
What size do you feel like the welfare state of America should be, and why?
What size? That is an interesting question. What exactly do you mean by size?
Do you believe that America should expand their welfare state in order to accommodate people who need it better? Or let's say, for example, they could lower their qualifications for who qualifies for certain welfare policy or welfare programs.
Oh, definitely. With the Hillary campaign, we are sole believers that any American that needs help should get help. So in that aspect, we would definitely expand it to accommodate for all of those who are in need.
How do you plan to fund your proposed welfare state?
Funding, we're going to be taxing heavily on the rich. So one of our policies that we have in place right now is a 5% taxation of all the top 1% income earners in America. So we will take 5% of their income annually, their annual income. And I would like to start off with setting the example. I myself will also pay into that 5%, along with increasing other taxes like the sin tax, excise tax, and things that aren't good for our futures. So like I said before, future is very important to our campaign, and all our policies are molded towards that.
So you're going for definitely a more progressive system of taxation.
Progressive indeed, yes.
Now we're going to close with our last few questions. In your policy proposal, you repeatedly address posing solutions to the shortcomings of the Affordable Care Act. In what ways do you feel that Obamacare has fallen short?
Oh wow, that's a very good question. I believe the Obamacare is definitely a great step forward for our society. Everybody is entitled to health care and deserve health care. However, we do anticipate one area that might be lacking, and since we will have millions of people being covered with insurance, we foresee a shortage in the doctors and nurses, to care for all these people. The baby boomers are now in their retirement age, and they're going to need health care. So we went ahead, and so that would be the shortcoming of they say that it's a lot of doctors would be needed, but it doesn't really say what they would do to encourage or incentivize people to get into the medical field. So that's what we went ahead and done. So one of our policies is to expand the blue and gold package, which pays the tuition for students coming in from households of under $80,000 a year. We expand that to medical students and nursing students as an incentive for them to come into to go into those programs and to become doctors. And I think that would fill a void that will be created when ACA is in full effect.
Now, to closing, our last question is, in your program you said that you would cut funding on programs that you found unnecessary. Why do you feel that international affairs, transportation, and energy are unnecessary and poorly run? And is your plan to take these programs off of the hands of the federal government and onto the hands of the state government?
That is definitely our plan. I believe that those areas, transportation and such, are better handled at the state level. So, federal government, shouldn't really have to deal with that. We'll let the governors handle that within their own states. So, yeah, that's definitely what we would like to see. And that will free up more funds to go into the welfare state for the whole country.
Okay, that's it. Thank you, Clinton, for being with us today. Again, we'd like to thank you.
Thank you. And thank you guys for joining us out here in the wilderness. As you can see, I'm camping today, so thank you very much for coming out into the forest.
Thank you very much.